Hello, Gemini, Sun, Moon, Rising, as well as Venus time travelers. Thank you for being here. I hope you're well. This is your prediction for February 2026. As always, Gemini, you know the drill. This is a collective general reading. So as the messages come through today, just take what fits, leave what doesn't, because if it's not your message, it simply means that it is meant for someone else watching. If you're not sure what your other placements are, I do encourage you to watch them. But if you don't know what they are, in the description box is a link where you can obtain your free birth chart. With all of that said, Gemini, now let's begin. Tapping into the Gemini collective now for Sun, Moon, Rising, as well as Venus placements. What does Gemini need to know for February 2026? What do they need to watch out for or prepare for? What do they need to know for February? We're going to get one more shuffle here. Okay, thank you. In the heart of your spread, we have the Two of Cups. In the top row, you have the Lovers, followed by the Hanged Man and the Page of Swords. Flanking the Two of Cups is the Seven of Cups and the Fool. And in the bottom row, you have the Five of Pentacles, you have the Ten of Wands, and you have the Queen of Cups. Little sneak peek now into March. Oh my God, I can't believe I'm saying March. Two of Wands, Eight of Wands, King of Wands, and that leaves the Death card, the Three of Swords, Knight of Pentacles, and the Chariot here at the bottom of the deck. Okay, let's see where we're going with this message. I'm going to try to align these so you can see them a little better in the camera view. Okay, I think that works. All right, let's clarify these cards now using the After Tarot deck. If you've never seen this reading before, the cards in this deck, they have different images and therefore different meanings, and we'll go through them as necessary for your reading. So let's clarify this now, please, for Gemini, Sun, Moon, Rising, as well as Venus placements. If you ever see me look up and you're wondering what I'm looking out to, it's just more, it's just more planks. But I don't know, I always feel a calling to look ahead or look up. So if that bothers you, someone commented that it bothers them. So if it bothers you, I'm sorry. Okay, let's clarify this now for the Gemini collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, as well as Venus placements for February 2026. We are clarifying the Lovers, the Hanged Man, Page of Swords, Seven of Cups, Two of Cups, the Fool, Five of Pentacles, Ten of Wands, and the Queen of Cups for the Gemini collective. One more shuffle here. Thank you. The Lovers is being clarified by the Two of Cups. And in this deck, it's actually called the Hanging Man, not the Hanged Man. So the Hanging Man is clarified by the Seven of Pentacles, and the Page of Swords is clarified by the Six of Pentacles. The Seven of Cups is clarified by the Ten of Pentacles, and the Two of Cups is clarified by the Knight of Swords. The Fool card is clarified by the Ten of Cups. The Five of Pentacles is clarified by the Empress. The Ten of Wands is clarified by the Queen of Cups. And then the Queen of Cups is clarified by the Four of Cups. Whoa. Sneak peek now, again, into March. Five of Pentacles, the High Priestess, Ace of Wands. Oh, that leaves you, the Queen of Swords, the Nine of Pentacles, Six of Swords to the Hierophant here at the bottom of the deck. This is obviously a connection-based reading, right? We have two sets of Two of Cups. We have the Lovers card. It doesn't have to be a romantic connection here in your life, and it could also be something new coming into your life as well. So let's see where we go with the message. But there's, without a doubt, this is a connection-based reading. So your energy for the entire month, for the month of February, is Two of Cups to the Knight of Swords. I almost get this feeling from you, Gemini, that you have finally figured out, or you have had this realization about what a particular partnership in your life should look like, what it should be like, what it should feel like, and you're ready to move towards that type of connection. Now, like I said, it could be a particular person or someone currently in your life, or just someone out there in the world that you know is made for you or meant for you. Either way, you seem to have great clarity. The Knight of Swords, as they enter the battlefield, they are carrying the Ace of Swords. So it's like you have this epiphany, this breakthrough moment, absolute clarity that this is what a particular partnership should look like, whether that's a familial connection with a family member or a professional connection with someone you work for or work with, or someone who works for you, or whether it's in regards to friendships and acquaintances, and yes, even in terms of romantic partnerships. You have absolute clarity about what blank type of relationship should look like for you. In the top row, we have the Lovers to the Two of Cups, the Hanging Man to the Seven of Pentacles, and the Page of Swords to the Six of Pentacles. The one thing that you have realize, or this revelation that you're carrying with you or moving forward with throughout the month of February, is that any connection in your life, again, regardless of who that person is or even how long you've known them, they have to be reciprocal in nature. And it's like, that's the choice you're making. It's like, because I have this newfound clarity about what partnerships in general, connections in general should look like and feel like, and how they should be reciprocal in nature, you're making the choice about that. So the choice is, I'm not going to just hang around with friends who only use me or call me when they're bored or they need something. I'm not going to just show up to family gatherings and pretend to be, you know, the happy cousin or the happy sibling. And meanwhile, the rest of the year, nobody reaches out to me, you know. So that's the feeling here. And I don't want to be in a romantic partnership where I feel breadcrumbed or there's no long-term future to it. So you have absolute clarity when I feel it's across the board for most of you. But again, take it how it resonates. It's a general reading. But I kind of feel like it's across the board. Like I'm making the active choice to engage with people, or I have a willingness to engage with people, as long as it's reciprocal in nature. And the reason why I say that is the Hanging Man to the Seven of Pentacles. You've thought about this for a long time. You're not thinking about this in the month of February. You have been thinking about this consciously and subconsciously for a long time. Could be years for some of you, because of the different interactions you've had. And it's almost like February now is the culmination or the realization of all those years of, you know, dealing with people who did breadcrumb you, or they were in and out, or they were inconsistent, or, you know, the family members you only see at weddings and funerals. Again, whatever it is for you, you've thought about it a long time. And so with that Page of Swords to the Six of Pentacles, I mean, in the After Tarot deck, the Six of Pentacles, we typically see two people kind of begging for someone's pentacle resource: time, love, money, attention, affection, talent, whatever it is. But here we see one person's walking away. So again, it's that realization, that epiphany of, I'm not going to engage with anybody. I would rather be alone, or I would rather not have many friends or no friends, or I don't need family, you know, is the kind of feeling if they're not going to be there for me on my hard days, if it's not reciprocal in nature. I do think there's one particular person here in the month of February, because of that Page of Swords, that you're communicating this to. And again, could be a friend, family member, coworker, could be your boss, where you're like, you know what? I show up consistently. I bring a lot of experience, dedication to this job. I don't get the raises and promotion that I deserve. I see other people who aren't putting in as much effort as I am, and they're being rewarded for basically being slouch or slacks. I mean, this could be some of you giving your notice to an employer, or cutting off a friendship, walking away from a family member, and maybe even a love partnership. Now, I don't see the full walking away just yet, but I feel like it's more like the communication. There's like a little dialogue here that you're having with someone that, again, I'm absolutely certain, I've thought about this for years, that if it's a reciprocal in nature, I'm there and I will show up. But if it's not, I'm out. And there's no big drama to this, right? Page of Swords is small communication. So flanking the Two of Cups to the Knight of Swords is the Seven of Cups to the Ten of Pentacles. You're no longer confused. Seven of Cups sometimes could be living in a dream state, a little wishful thinking. But that Ten of Pentacles tells me you're now solid on this. Like, I am looking for connections in my life that will go the distance, that are nurturing, that we can build together. We can build a good friendship together. We should be building a great family connection together. We should be planning for a future if you're my romantic partner. So I just think like you've become very grounded, not stubborn. I'm not talking like the negative aspects of being grounded where you're stubborn and rigid. No, this is just, I am absolutely certain that I will entertain or engage with people that are in it for the long run, or put as much on the line for the connection as I do. And so the other side of the Two of Cups to Knight of Swords is the Fool to the Ten of Cups. And this is because you are in the pursuit of emotional contentment. You're in the pursuit of it. And again, I can do this with you or without you, is the kind of feeling. But I will eventually get to the Ten of Cups. That's the feeling here. And you can be part of the ride, right? You can be part of my journey, provided it's reciprocal in nature. If not, I don't need you in my life. And again, I don't see a big argument or a fight here. We have the Five of Pentacles to the Empress. I mean, you truly know your value and worth here, and you're not settling for less, right? You're looking for the Ten of Pentacles in all connections in your life. You're not looking for the Five of Pentacles. So you're looking for the type of employment opportunity that will pay you handsomely. You know, if you're your own business owner or entrepreneur, you're not going to give your shit away for free. You know, again, friend, family member, lover, I'm not looking to feel abandoned or left out in the cold, or I'm only good enough when you need something. No, it has to be reciprocal. I give 5 pentacles, you give 5 pentacles. And that's how we get to the 10 of pentacles, right? So that's the feeling here. And it's because you, in the month of February, after all of these years of all of these various connections in your life, you truly know your value and worth, at least when it comes to partnerships. Like you have aced that lesson. 10 of Wands to the Queen of Cups, and then you have the Queen of Cups to the 4 of Cups. And this is what I'm talking about. Any opportunities for emotional engagement with another person, again, regardless of who they are, it's like you're looking at them, like in the After Tarot deck, the Queen here, and you could be masculine. Don't be offended by the word Queen. Or you could be a masculine and be a queen. I'm kidding. Anyway, please don't get offended at that. I'm Italian. I'm from Jersey. Come on, give me a break. Anyway, we have the Queen of Cups here lifting the lid off of the chalice. So it's almost like reviewing all of these emotional connections in your life. And if they're too burdensome, if you have to carry the emotional weight, if you have to drag the relationship because the other person's just sitting there like with their arms folded and not interested or not doing their part, then again, that same Queen of Cups, you're okay with pouring out the Ace of Cups. Whatever minimal effort that they're giving or minimal offering that they're giving, you're good. You're good not accepting it, which is maybe something in the past you didn't do. Maybe in the past you were the type of Gemini where you're a little bit of a people pleaser, playing that dualistic nature of your lovely Gemini sign, and you're like, okay, I don't like what they're doing, but I love them, right? I hate that they're doing this, but I love them. I don't like being breadcrumb, but I love them. But this is different. This is, I don't like what you're doing, but I love myself. And so I love myself enough to say no more. Again, we don't see any big fights or arguments. This is just a quiet retreat or a quiet withdrawal from connections in your life that are no longer emotionally fulfilling, are no longer reciprocal when it comes to the investment of time or love or care. And same thing if this is work related. This is a quiet withdrawal. I'm just going to go find another job and I'll give you my notice. I'm not going to make a stink at work or fight with the boss that they should be treating me fairly. They should know what I bring to the table already. I show up every day in my best form, or on most days in my best form. So that's the feeling here. When we're looking at March, you're full steam ahead. I mean, we've got fire, fire, fire here for you. 2 of Wands, 8 of Wands, and the King of Wands. This is passion, excitement, creativity, and okay with moving forward. Again, moving forward with the connections in your life that work, moving forward towards finding connections in your life that you hope will work, and okay with moving forward or moving on from connections that don't work. So this could be a Gemini where you meet someone, and things are okay, you go on a date or two, or you date for a couple weeks, and you're like, not for me. Old Gemini would have stayed in it for 5 years. Not this Gemini. That's the feeling that I get here. So even if you're single, and maybe you are going on some romantic dates here, maybe you're going on 1 or 2 dates this month, if it's not for you, again, there's no big blowing up on the text. It's just a quiet retreat, a quiet withdrawal. That 5 of Pentacles, you now have known your worth, okay, or you now know your worth, because in the After Tarot deck, typically what we see here, and it's not in this deck, I'm sorry, it's in some of the other decks I use for you, but typically we see people outside of what looks like a community center or a religious organization, and they're shivering out in the cold. In some decks that I have, like one of the people, they don't have like a leg, or their leg is bandaged, or they're on crutches. But the point is they're out in the cold, and they could get help. All they have to do is go inside and get help. But in the After Tarot deck, you have gone within, because you're leaving this place with a whole bag of goodies, in a sack over your shoulder. So you did go within, is the feeling that I'm getting here. You did go within. God knows how long you were in that hermit mode or dark night of the soul, but because you know your value and worth, again, you are okay with moving forward. There's a lot of fire for you in March when it comes to moving forward. You have the Death card. This was a huge transformation that you unfortunately had to go through and had to experience. I know we hate when we hear tarot readers say that, but all of those lessons in heartbreak that you had, in connections that were not reciprocal, transformed you. When it comes to this one particular lesson, you are now the Empress or Emperor. Okay, so I think that's why, and in March, there seems to be a spiritual or internal recognition of that on your part. Like, damn, I wouldn't know my worth had I not gone through blank all those years ago with this person, that person, so forth and so on. I want to clarify just a couple of things for you. Something has you really fired up in a good way in March. So I'm going to clarify that for you. But I want to look at a couple of these other things. I want to see if there's a particular connection in your life that you may be having difficulty with, or possibly walking away from, or putting someone on notice that you might walk away from it. I know for me, it's been my best friend for many years. I love him like a brother. I mean, this is someone that I put in my will. You know, I'm divorced. When I started dating my person, things were complicated. I'm sure you guys all figured that out from the readings you've watched over the last 2 years. It was complicated, so I certainly wasn't going to name him. And so I put my best friend as the sole beneficiary. Not that I'm sitting on, pots of gold over here, but I needed someone to leave my house to, and some of my belongings, and of course my cat. These days it's like I don't even know him anymore. So this might be something for me aligned with him. And again, it's hard to let him go. After all of these years, we've been really good friends. Oh, God. I mean, he was in my life even when I was married. I mean, and I helped him through his breakup. He lives in Ohio, but like I helped him through his breakups, plural for him. And he helped me through mine. And it's just, we've gone our separate ways, unfortunately. So, yeah. So I was just talking to my dad this morning about that too. And he's like, have you talked to him? And I'm like, not really. We kind of text maybe once every couple of weeks now. It's like its relationship is very strained. So for me, this could be him, no doubt. But let's see what it is for you. Can we clarify that Two of Cups? I think for most of you, it's just connections in general. And I guess that could apply to me as well here as a Gemini sun. But for you, this is your reading, not mine. Tell me about that Two of Cups here. One more shuffle. Thank you. The Two of Cups is clarified by the Star. Wow, that Death card showed itself again, and the Six of Swords. So that's exactly what it is. You're okay with engaging with or moving towards, and maybe even moving away from certain connections in your life in the month of February. Again, this all comes down to the transformation of you, because you're sitting here now in Empress energy when it comes to this one particular lesson. You know, I'm sure there's other lessons that you and I have to learn, and probably different for each of us. But when it comes to partnerships, this was a lesson that took years for us to learn. But it looks like we finally learned it. Tell me about that Knight of Swords here. Tell me about the Knight of Swords. One more shuffle. Thank you. The Knight of Swords is clarified by Six of Cups. Again, these soulmate or soul bond connections. Wheel of Fortune and Strength card, bottom of the deck, the World. So many of you will be closing out. Again, not all, so don't take it if it's not your message, but many of you have learned the lesson in that World card. This is for me like going to high school for 4 years here in the United States. We've learned this lesson. We don't need to repeat the process. So it could be, it's possible for some of you, you have one connection here in your life that you are slowly distancing yourself from. Again, it doesn't seem to be any big fight here, right? We have the Star, the Death card, and the Six of Swords. And it's like, I have healed the part of myself that used to tolerate this type of behavior, just quietly, kind of like a thief in the night, right? The Six of Swords, I don't mean to laugh, but the Six of Swords in your deck is being done at night. And then we have the big old moon behind this person. So it's like something's been illuminated to you. And again, not sure if it's happening in February. It could be for some of you, but for others of you, it probably happened with that full moon that we had in January. But something was illuminated, some aha, epiphany moment. And then there's just this quiet walking away, because some wound within you now has been healed. So I think, again, like I was saying, for most of you, there's one particular connection that you have some fond memories of, but it's just time, Wheel of Fortune, for it to cycle out of your life. I think it's going to take you a lot to do this, because like me, right, this person has meant a lot for me. I've seen him, with all the ups and downs in his life, and he has seen me. And, every time I go through hardships with my person, like my bestie in Ohio is the first person I talk to, but we're on different pages now. And I think he's sensing that too. Our lives are just moving in different directions. So for most of you, you're going to have one person here in the month of February that you're choosing to move on from. Like, you no longer want to be breadcrumbs, or again, it's the family member that you only see at weddings and funerals, or someone that only came around when they needed money. I mean, I have one of those in my family too. That's been really difficult for me to separate myself from him as well, because he is one of my siblings. But again, I only get the phone calls when he needs money, or he needs to be bailed out, literally like bailed out. So I could probably see myself in February, if he came around again asking for that, that's probably would be a no for me as well. So take the messages how they resonate to you. Tell me more about the Five of Pentacles, and then we're going to see what has you so fired up there in the month of March. Clarify the Five of Pentacles here. One more shuffle here. Thank you. The Five of Pentacles, clarified by the Three of Cups, the Three of Swords, and the Five of Cups. Bottom of the deck, the Four of Wands. So it was through this heartache and loss, maybe even being part of a third-party situation, because, you know, we have the Three Cups built over, Three of Swords, Three of Cups, so it could be something like that for you. And maybe that's what it took. It took that relationship or that lesson for you to learn your value and worth. For others of you, could come around because of a connection to your community, like someone you thought you were close with, but you really felt in the end that you weren't, or it could be a friend, like in my case, could be family as well. But again, it took, I feel like it was more than one connection for most of you. Like it could have been with friends, a love partnership, you know, family. There's something like this was stretched out over time. And unfortunately, you had to realize your worth and value, and there was no other way for the universe to get that lesson across to you except to introduce this person or these people into your life. Four of Wands. Yeah, I mean, these were people you were close with. Maybe you were married to them, or you wanted to be, or you welcomed them into your home, or you knew them for a long time. Again, could be family here with that Four of Wands. So it took a series of those connections for you to say, no, wait, I deserve more. Clarify the Empress here. Clarify the Empress here. One more shuffle. Thank you. So the Empress status, Nine of Wands. Well, I love that. Six of Wands. Look at you having victory over that, and the Ten of Swords. The way you used to show up, accepting less than you deserve, those days are over. Those days are done. You have, I almost want to say, you mastered this lesson here in the Page of Pentacles. So what is March all about here? Two of Wands, Eight of Wands, King of Wands. There's a lot of wand action. And then in the other deck, you have the Five of Pentacles, which again is you knowing your worth. The High Priestess, and then the Ace of Wands. So something has you fired up here. What is this in the month of March here? I just saw the Hierophant at the bottom of the deck. My best friend is a Taurus, so maybe for some of you it is a Taurus. Could be a fire sign as well. Tell me more about this. What has Gemini so fired up in March? One more shuffle here. Thank you. What has you so fired up? The Ten of Cups. That one thing here that you decided in February that you were going to move towards connections that added or provided emotional fulfillment, emotional contentment for you. This is what you are now chasing or moving forward towards in the month of March. Ten of Cups, the Seven of Pentacles, because of the lessons that you've learned from the past. And there's your Knight of Swords going right forward towards it. So you have a new connection here, because the Knight of Swords here was clarifying the Two of Cups. So you have a connection here. I don't know if it's this past person or a family member. It could be the best friend. You know, for me, like when you withdraw, when you would retract, they come around again. That's possible. For others of you, you are just in pursuit now of a new connection here in your life in the month of March. Can you clarify this further here for Gemini? Okay, I just saw the Nine of Pentacles wanted to show itself. So clarify this further, please, for March for the Gemini collective. One more shuffle here. Thank you. We have the Page of Cups, the Queen of Swords, and the Hierophant. Okay, so in March, you have a connection here. You can claim this how you want. If it's the existing person, friend, family member, lover that you withdrew from, you can claim this as this person coming back around again because you stood your ground. Queen of Swords to the Hierophant. Looks like there's a little apology here, communication from this individual. If this is a job that you're deciding to leave, or maybe you put them on notice, like a little threat, like if this doesn't change, I'm leaving. Remember I said in the Page of Swords, you might actually be communicating this to someone. This would be either this job coming back around and saying, oh my God, we see your value and worth. Queen of Swords to the Hierophant. And this could be an apology, a discussion, maybe a small offer here to get you to stay at the company. This could certainly be a new person here. Now that you know your value and worth, you're now attracting something new or someone new here into your life. So you claim that soulmate however you need or want them to be, Gemini. But there is someone here. For some of you, like I said, it's this person, whoever they are, coming back around, trying to apologize, trying to make good. But it's all because you stood your ground on this. Like you spoke your truth. Remember I said no fighting? It was really small communication here. And then you stood your ground. So for a lot of you, you're getting an apology here from this individual in the month of March. What you choose to do with it is completely up to you. And if you don't want the past person back, then I would just claim this as a new person coming in. You're attracting a new professional soulmate or platonic connection or romantic connection. That's the overwhelming feeling here. Let's clarify this. Five of Pentacles, the High Priestess, and the Ace of Wands. We have the Six of Cups and the King of Cups. And didn't you have the Six of Cups here where I said you were evaluating your past connections? I think we did say that. But let's see if this wants to come out again. I thought I did say that. Clarify the Five of Pentacles, the High Priestess, and the Ace of Wands here for Gemini in March. One more shuffle. Thank you. This is being clarified by the Nine of Wands. That was your lesson here. The Ace of Swords, yes, that is the truth. And you have the Eight of Pentacles. Bottom of the deck, you have the Chariot. So you have something new here that you're working on in March in that Ace of Wands. And again, it could be a new creative endeavor. Certainly could be a new job. You launching your own business. Maybe you got tired of this job and you're like, F it. I'm going to just launch my own business. I've been wanting to do it for a while. That's quite possible. So in that respect, this could be you then going back and forth talking to someone, like maybe you're setting up your LLC or you're establishing your new corporation, your new company here. So that could be an attorney. Sometimes I see the Queen of Swords or King of Swords as an attorney in those types of readings. But something has you fired up, and it certainly could be a new love partner. Whatever it is, it's something new. I believe it's new and you're working on it. Or you're just working on a past connection in a new way or in a different way. One more shuffle here. Thank you. We have the Ten of Wands. You have the King of Cups, Queen to the King of Cups. And you have the Knight of Pentacles. Bottom of the deck, you have the Tower. You don't see that coming. So, again, you claim that person how you want. This current person, a past person, a new person. You do not see it coming. Oh, the Hanging Man. It's the connection. It's a connection you thought about walking away from. Or the type of connection that you thought you're no longer going to tolerate. So, again, claim this how you want. You have a connection here in March that you are moving forward with, whether that's career and finance, love and romance, or some other aspect of your life. So you can claim that as the past person, the new person, or your current person, whatever, you know. Again, these are collective general readings, but you're moving forward with this individual. If this is a past person, this is someone now making a plan with you. King of Cups to the Knight of Pentacles, because that's Virgo energy. So that's now making a plan with you. Interesting. So it could be an offer or promise to show up. That's possible for some of you because maybe this was like a connection here that was not reciprocal. And this would be this person then coming in with this apology to you, right? Because you stood your ground. Oh, your cards, I don't know if the camera caught that. Your cards flipped over when I picked these up. So again, you flipped the script on this person. So yeah, look, now the cards are, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to laugh like that. Now the cards are in the reverse here. So for some of you where you flip the script on this person, it looks like they come in March with this apology, some type of new plan or offer, and it looks like you're moving forward with them, whoever this person is. And if you don't, like I said, you don't want the new person because you flipped the script, you're now drawing in someone new, someone who's at your level. Can we get one card here for that top row? For the middle row for Gemini? And this final row here. Thank you. Let's get this as well. Yep, you're clearing a karmic debt here, meaning you learned a valuable lesson. Very nice. One card here for that top row. Okay, you got two because you have a flipper there. We'll take it. Of course, you're Gemini. You're going to get two for every row. Did that come out in twos? No, so the last row is one. Okay, let's see what we have here for you, Gemini. In the top row, you have attracting, not chasing. Oh, that's exactly what someone does when they're in Empress mode. Again, whether you're masculine or feminine or Emperor mode. So you are attracting, not chasing. That's what you're deciding to do here. You have the White Eagle, ancestor spirit, connect to your lineage. A family wound or pattern can be healed now. I think you're healing a wound within yourself or a pattern within yourself. And you have intervention and purpose. Divine intervention is occurring. Know that you are being guided. Happiness is your true purpose. Bravo to you. You then have courage to ask for and accept help. So if there's, and it's interesting, the first thing it says is asking for help is a sign of strength. So if you are cutting someone off, or you're retracting from a particular, or withdrawing from a particular connection in your life, and you need a little strength or courage to do that, or you need some clarity behind whether or not you should do that, just ask Source for help, because it will be given to you. You then have phases and cycles. There is a beginning with every ending. Illusions are revealed and released. That's what you're doing, because now you know your value and worth, and you're now on this new path here. You have Krishna, devotion, trust your spiritual guidance. Your commitment has been recognized, and you are loved unconditionally. I love that. And the bottom of the deck here, you have power of prayer. Give the situation to God for uplifting and healing, and be open to miracles. And then you have soul expansion. Your consciousness is expanding, and you understand the connection between all things. And that was the feeling here. It's like, now you understand why you had to go through all of those lessons with all of those different types of people in your life. Again, I go back to, if you're disengaging from someone, it might be difficult, right? It is for me to disengage. It's like almost 10 years now that I've known him. So it's going to be, I've known him longer than I've known my person. So it's going to be quite difficult for me. So yeah, you might have to like lean on spirit or lean on source for some courage or strength to do that. And that's okay if that's what you need to do. Let's wrap this up now. We'll close this up with some Kipper cards. Can we get 2 cards here, please, for that top row? Thank you. Middle row here for Gemini. Okay. And the bottom row. Okay. So your top row here, these cards came out upside down. Message of concern in reverse, and sudden wealth is in the reverse. Yeah, you're recognizing you don't want connections where they're not that 10 of Pentacles. They're not long-term. They're not abundant. They're not reciprocal. And I did say, for some of you, you might actually say this to someone in the Page of Swords. For others of you, there is no message of concern. You're just quietly retreating, retracting, and withdrawing from someone here in your life. For the middle row, you have unexpected income, and you have poverty. This is you knowing your value and worth now. And you might think, oh, this just happened unexpectedly, or I never thought I was going to cut off this person. But subconsciously and intuitively and spiritually speaking, you've been on this road for a while, through those various experiences that you've had. So you're coming out of the 5 of Pentacles, and now you are in the 10 of Pentacles. And in the bottom row here, you have message and you have mature woman. I do think that there's communication here, particularly as we move into March here. You're now the mature man or the mature woman of your life. And I do think that there's some type of communication here happening in March. We'll know more as we get closer to it. I think for a lot of you, it's this person, your friend, your family member, you know, the sibling, the best friend, the lover, coming back around again here with an apology. But it's because you retracted your energy. And this could even be like you went out, you know, if this is a new person for you in February, you go out on a date, or, you know, 1 or 2 dates, and you're feeling like, not for me. And then maybe you stop texting them. This could then be this person coming around in March and providing you with an apology for that. Being told to get 2 Kipper cards for March. Can we get 2 Kipper cards for March? I don't think I've ever done that before. I don't think I ever got a Kipper card for the next month. So 2 cards here for March. Thank you. Occupation there is at the bottom of the deck. You have change in the reverse, and you have community. I told you, if you stand your ground, I think this person, whoever they are, they're coming back around in March. Be mindful, we have Mercury retrograde in March as well. I think it starts February 25th, which is Pisces season. It's not going to be that long of a retrograde this time around. So this will most likely happen last week of February, moving into that first week in March. I would expect communication from that person, but it's because you didn't change. You stood your ground. There's also something here about this person now. We have the occupation, the privileged lady, and adjudication in house. This person is coming in a little bit more structured, or a little bit more solid because of your retraction here. And again, it could just be someone that you meet in the month of February. For those of you who are like, I'm not excommunicating anyone from my life in the month of February. 1, this is a reading that's predictive in nature, so we'll have to see how the month rolls out for all of us. But 2, I feel strongly this is whoever this person or these people are. It looks like they come back around, and they're looking for, that community card is like the 3 of Cups, like they're looking for a reunion or reconciliation, something like that, but it's only because you didn't change, you were unwavering, and you stood your ground. that is what I have for you, Gemini, for the month of February 2026. Take all those messages, how they apply to you and your current journey. And if you like those messages and they did resonate in some way, or you want to claim them, maybe you found them to be helpful or even a little hopeful, please be sure to click like, share, comment, and subscribe. Hype the video if you're able to do that. And thank you once again for being a time traveler. I sure do appreciate your support, and I hope that these messages help you with your respective journeys. Till I read for you again, I'm sending you light, love, and peace.